Anti-differentiate or integrate 4 times this function by rule. Okay, the reason we say by rule is later on we will show you another method. Unless we say by rule, you can use anything. So let's just have a look at what to do. If they say anti-differentiate, it means we need to integrate in terms of x because x is my variable. One of the properties of integration is, and you don't have to do it, but just because this 4 can be sometimes a little bit confusing, what you are allowed to do is you can take that 4 out and put it outside the integration sign. It doesn't have any influence because you're going to multiply it back anyway. This will be to a function 5x minus 2 to the power 3. The reason, one of the other reasons they tell you not to use it by rule is because we will get some students that will be using the distributive law and they will expand this to a term. And then it gets sometimes to the power 7 and it takes them 7 days to expand that. So we want to do this by rule. Now our rule is very simple. It's the same as the differentiation one almost. It's just different. Okay, let's have a look. There's our rule. So what we said is if we had ax plus b to the power n, and everybody is now familiar with the differentiation. So what happened was the n went to the front, so you times by n, and it becomes n minus 1. Right? And then you had to multiply with the derivative of the function. So that was a function of the function. So again, n went to the front, n minus 1, multiplied by the derivative. Now, you're going to apply the same rule as here. What's going to happen is, it's going to be the function, but with integration we add 1. So it's n plus 1, and I'm dividing by n plus 1, and I then divide by the derivative of ax plus b. So look carefully, ax plus b, n plus 1. So that thing stays like it, n plus 1, divide by n plus 1, and then you also, instead of multiplying by a, I divide by a because a is the derivative of this function. And then always plus c. Okay, so let's apply that rule. Let's just have it in there to this. Equals the 4 stays. Pardon me. The integration of 5x minus 2, bracket stays 5x minus 2. The 3 is added 1, so it's plus 1. Divide by my new power, 3 plus 1 is 4. Divide by, which means if I divide by, I'm actually multiplying underneath the line, the derivative of 5x minus 2. And the 5x minus 2, the derivative of that is 5. So I'm just going to put a little reminder next to here to say this 5, where did that 5 comes from? Well, that is the derivative. So that is d dx of 5x minus 2 equals 5, and that is where that 5 comes from. All I have to do now is simplify. So I can say this 4 cancels with that 4. And now, again, 2 different ways of writing this. This is then 5x minus 2 to the power 3 plus 1 is 4. Sorry, plus c. Plus c. Divide by this 5. And this takes up a lot of space, so a lot of people say, well, divide by 5, it's the same as a fifth of 5x minus 2 to the power 4 plus c. Any one of those, really. There's not a big difference. Just as you can see, divide by 5, multiply by a fifth.